Hello everybody, this is Get Auto. Today we're going to discuss how to diagnose a P050D and a P0300 misfire on a GM, Cadillac, Chevy, Suburbans, and 5.3 and then 6.2 engines. This is for highly skilled technician, not for DIYs, so just pay attention. So diagnosing your P050D and 300, this car have a lot of misfire, and high rich fuel trim, and then cold start, rough idle, and then a misfire. So we're gonna diagnose it. So we scanned it, and then we find high trims, which is a very rich trims on the car, and then there's a code P050D, which is called engine misfire, which is called start rough idle, and then a misfire called P0300. So we're gonna sort it out, why it's missing and then why it's running rough, especially when it's cold. The engine is running very rough, so it's kind of missing very badly. So, and then the fuel trim is very rich when I look at it. So we're gonna look back and then see why it's doing the fuel trim is why it's rich, and then the misfire. So we're gonna see the misfire, and the misfire data is like 10,636 counts since the last time since cleared, so it's missing badly. And then cylinder number one is kind of stabilizing now, but it was bad. So we figure out that's the injector number one is missing. We already did some tests like swapping the plugs, wire, coil, but that's not it. So injector is bad. So this is how you remove the injectors. Once you remove the intake manifold, crack open the high pressure line, put a rag underneath, and then slowly let the fuel drain out. But it's very high pressure, so collect it on a rag. It's gonna be moist, so avoid, put the rag aside. It's not gonna cause any issue. So you take out those fuel lines, and those have to be replaced. You can't reuse it again, gotta replace it. Once you do that, just vacuum the whole area, no dirt get into it. Once that's done, so remove 4 bolts to the injector. So number 1, 3, 5, 6 is this side. Once you loosen them up, you use a pry bar like this one, especially designed for it, very helpful. So I'm gonna pry it both ways with 2 bars at the same time, slowly lift it up, and then you can remove the injector like this. So this is all 4 injectors. The connector right here was disconnected, and then you take it all the harness and the connector together, and then make sure no foreign material or anything get into the cylinder. So you just plug all the intake manifold or tap it, either way, which is convenient. So you bring it in. So we know the first one is number 1 cylinder, and 3, 5, 7. So all the odd numbers is this, and then the even numbers the other side. So number 1 is the first injector here. So we're gonna pry the injector. There's a clamp down. So once we pry it, so you can pull the injector very forcefully. Sometimes could be stuck and hard. You can put this and then kind of pry it outward, but yeah, just pull it a little harder, so it's gonna come out. It's just a seal is holding in place. So once you take it out, get your injector. There are 4 kind of injector on this car. There is a nominal, high flow, low flow, and then yeah, there's 4 of them. So you have to know exactly which is for this car. So which this is nominal flow injectors. So get it from, they will check it by the VIN, and then they will tell you exactly which VIN number. You can compare it, the injector you use it now with the other one. Just spray some a little WD or small lightly lubricate the seals and the Teflon seals, and then push it in. So push it in, is gonna click in there. So you have to align it, both the rail and the injector connector. There is a groove, it's lined up before you put the clamp down bolt, and then make sure that's perfectly aligned, and then you can press it down. So what I do is I just put this clamp and then reverse it and then press it down. So that's it. Yeah, reverse it this way and then press it right on the injectors. I need to click it, it's gonna click itself, and then right there. So make sure that hole was a 2 notch is fitting there, and then clean the area, and then you have to replace those seals. Come with the injectors, and all of them remove the old one from the hole. Some of them stuck in the hole, and the injector hole, or some of them come out with this. So remove that and then replace it, and then here you go. You get to install it back, and then injector is ready to go back. So make sure it's aligned in the hole, and then slowly press it down until it fits well. Once it does that, just tighten all the 4 bolts one by one, and then install a new high fuel pressure line, and then tighten to the spec. Yeah, so right here the injector is already replaced. So we're gonna prepare the intake manifold, and one thing here you don't have to forget is putting back the connectors on the wire harness. The injector harness is in the back. There are two connectors, and this side is already in the back connected. And then replace the seal. This intake manifold seal, every time you just take it off and replace it. So put a new one on it, so clean it and replace it, and then yeah, go to the intake manifold, and you can replace the intake manifold there, and make sure all the hoses align, and then the electrical connectors not pinch underneath. So push it aside, and then I align it together and make sure all the holes fit perfectly and sitting there. Once you do that, you can start tightening from crisscross, one here, one there, one there, one there, and then tighten it to the spec, and then you already did the rest. Is put the manifold, put the electrical connector, and the fuel lines, all the purge solenoid valves, and the line, any hoses you disconnected, connect that. And that's what it looks like, replacing the injector. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe, share, and like.